previously on Down in the Dungeon. In the blood-soaked aftermath of Rittenheim's defense, our heroes pursued the fleeing lizardfolk with righteous determination. But their zeal led them into a deadly trap, as they found themselves confronted by an overwhelming force of 50 scaled warriors, their numbers seemingly endless against the darkening sky. The party, consisting of the shadow-dancing twins Lyra and Kaelin along with Wyrmraex and Malveth, fought against the scaled tide. While high above, Kithri and the mighty Dragildoin rained death from above, their fury marked by scorched earth and charred bodies. Working together, they won the day by the Raven Queen's grace. Meanwhile, our other party, sent out by the company to Drakestide Cove, was met with an epic confrontation aboard the Emerald Tide Runner. Captain Jelani and his valiant crew emerged victorious against 2 fearsome sea hags who had been terrorizing their vessel. But victory came with a chilling revelation. Deep in the bowels of the ship, Valyria and Nali uncovered evidence of treachery, a mysterious document suggesting that these eldritch horrors were no mere stowaways, but part of a deeper conspiracy. Someone within the crew had aided the creature's passage aboard the ship, a betrayal that struck at the very heart of the Emerald Tide Runner's trusted family. As our heroes sailed through the night, sharing tales and forging bonds of friendship, the weight of this discovery hung heavy in the air. The connection between the necromancer's skeletal assault at the harbour and these maritime horrors hints at a web of darkness that stretches far beyond the confines of their ship. And now, both parties converge in the continuation of Down in the Dungeon. Across the merciless expanse of the arid plain, a chase of dire consequence unfolds. A small caravan of deceptively ordinary carts races across the barren landscape, surrounded by riders on lathered horses. The guards, their faces masks of grim determination, frequently glance back at their pursuers. The caravan, its true nature hidden behind a veil of deception, flees towards the walls of Drakestide Cove. In hot pursuit, a trio that at first glance might be mistaken for villains, but whose hearts burn with righteous purpose. The pursuers close in, led by the enigmatic Arcalium, their blue robes billowing in the hot wind, his pointed hat a beacon of hope for the innocent. Flanking the mage are their loyal companions, Visnax, the goblin ranger with eyes like burning coals, and Lysareth, the drow ranger known as the Dusk Weaver, her silvery hair a stark contrast to her blue skin. With a gesture from Arcalium, the rangers let loose a volley of arrows. The shafts whistle through the air, finding their marks among the rearmost guards of the caravan. Screams of pain mingle with the thundering of hooves and the creaking of cartwheels. From within one of the carts, we hear a muffled cry for help.
Your vile trade ends here, slavers. Release my apprentice, and justice may yet be merciful.
The imposing stone walls of Drakestide Cove loom on the horizon. Atop the company's tower, the Drakestide Cove headquarters, Little Horn and Krothar, stand vigilant, their eyes fixed on the distant plain, witnessing the unfolding chaos beyond the city walls.
By the gods, look at that mage. Blue robes, yellow hat, and they wield fire as if it were a plaything. Are they bandits?
I'm not sure. Something feels off. The caravan guards, there's a coldness to them. And did you hear that cry from the cart?
As firebolts and arrows tear through the ranks of the caravan's defenders, Little Horn and Krothar strain to make out the details of the conflict. The true nature of the chase eludes them, obscured by distance and assumptions.
Curse it all. There's some kind of magical interference. I can't get a clear reading on anyone out there. It's as if someone doesn't want us to know what's really happening.
A concerning development, to be sure. We must alert the city guard, but which side do we aid?
I don't know, Krothar. I truly don't know. But I fear we may be about to welcome wolves into our fold, one way or another.
In the distance, Arcalium raises his staff, preparing a spell that could turn the tide of the pursuit. The caravan leader whips his horses frantically, the gates of the city now tantalizingly close. The caravan's remaining guardians, desperation etched on their sun-baked faces, form a ragged defensive line with their lathered horses. Sweat stings their eyes as they knock arrows to their bows, the twang of bowstrings a desperate counterpoint to the thundering hoofbeats of their pursuers. In a last desperate gambit to protect their nefarious cargo, the caravan's guardians stand their ground. a wall of horseflesh and determined riders, they loose their arrows in a deadly arc, praying to whatever dark gods they serve that their shafts will find their mark in the flesh of the Black Mage and his ranger companions. The air fills with the whistle of arrows, but as they near their targets, an invisible force swats them aside like irritating insects. The Guardian's eyes widen in disbelief and fear.
By all the hells, what manner of magic is this?
Little Horn and Krothar lean forward on the parapet, their knuckles white as they grip the stone, eyes locked on the distant battle.
Did you see that? The mage. It's as if the arrows fear to touch him.
Wait! There, a crossbow bolt found its mark, and for a moment, the mage's form shimmered, like a mirage in the desert heat.
As our observers watch from the safety of the company's watchtower, a shocking development unfolds on the blood-soaked battlefield. The Black Mage Arcalium, struck by a well-aimed crossbow bolt, flickers for an instant. In the blink of an eye, he reappears behind the line of caravan guards, his form rippling like a heat haze, seemingly in two places at once.
An illusion. By the gods, the mage has deceived them, dividing their forces with nothing more than smoke and mirrors.
And the rangers, they press the attack with deadly precision, taking full advantage of the chaos. This is no ordinary bandit raid, Little Horn. There's purpose here, and power beyond measure.
The illusory form of Arcalium, a masterwork of magical deception, sows chaos among the caravan's defenders. Panic spreads through their ranks like wildfire as they struggle to comprehend the impossible sight before them. In this moment of confusion, the two rangers, Wyrmraex and Lizardfolk, unleash hell upon the beleaguered guardians. Arrows rain down with unerring accuracy, each shaft finding a weak point in armor, each strike a mortal blow. The caravan guards, caught between the illusory mage and the all-too-real onslaught of the rangers, fight with the desperation of cornered animals. Swords clash, arrows whistle through the air, and the screams of the wounded fill the scorching desert air.
Hold the line, you dogs! The city gates are within reach. We lose the girl, we lose everything!
From within one of the carts, a muffled cry can be heard, a young woman's voice filled with fear and determination.
You won't get away with this. They'll stop you, I know they will.
The ancient stone of the watchtower trembles as Little Horn and Krothar, still transfixed by the unfolding drama on the plain, are joined by Nali and Jelani, the Tabaxi cousins. The newcomer's fur stands on end, an instinctive reaction to the palpable tension in the air.
By the whiskers of fate, what madness unfolds out there.
The Black Mage Arcalium and their rangers? They're in pursuit of a carriage, but something's not right.
As the four companions watch, breath held and hearts racing, the true form of the Black Mage Arcalium becomes clear. With a gesture both elegant and terrifying, the mage casts a spell upon themselves and their steed. In an instant, reality seems to warp around them. The air shimmers and distorts as Arcalium begins to move at an impossible speed, their form blurring into a streak of blue and yellow. The very fabric of space seems to bend as they rapidly close the distance to their quarry, a sinister black carriage at the heart of the besieged convoy. Arcalium, now little more than a comet of arcane energy, races towards the black carriage. The mage's hand flashes out, faster than the eye can follow, loosing a searing firebolt. The carriage driver, caught unawares, is struck full in the chest and sent tumbling from their perch, a scream of pain cut short as they hit the unforgiving earth. The carriage grinds to a halt, its wheels digging furrows in the dusty plain. For a moment, all is still.
Aperio.
The lock on the carriage door shatters in a shower of molten metal. From within, a young woman bursts forth, her face a canvas of fear, determination, and something else, recognition. Without hesitation, she leaps onto the back of Arcalium's horse, her arms wrapping tightly around the mage's waist.
Master, I knew you'd come!
Hold tight, apprentice. Our work here is not yet done.
Little Horn and Krothar exchange a look of stunned surprise, their assumptions about the mage and their rangers suddenly and violently upended.
They're not attackers. They're rescuers.
But why? Who is that woman? And what in the nine hells have we just witnessed?
As the four watch in stunned silence, Arcalium and the young woman speed away from the caravan, the mage's ranger companions falling into formation behind them like shadows given form. The remaining caravan guards, realizing their prize is slipping away, rally for one last, desperate attack. But Arcalium and his apprentice are not defenseless prey. In a final devastating display of power, mage and student raise their hands in perfect unison. Twin fireballs, one tinged with the blue of mastery, the other the wild orange of raw potential, streak towards the caravan. The resulting explosion is blinding, a maelstrom of flame that engulfs the remaining guards and carts. The roar of the inferno reaches even the high walls of Drakestide Cove, causing our observers to flinch back from the windows. As the smoke clears, Arcalium, the woman, and the rangers are nowhere to be seen, having disappeared into the distant tree line. They leave behind a scene of smouldering devastation and unanswered questions. The black scorch marks on the earth are testament to the power unleashed this day. Krothar, Littlehorn, Nali, and Jelani stand in stunned silence, each grappling with the implications of what they've just witnessed. The air hangs heavy with unspoken questions, the taste of ash and ozone seeming to linger even here, high above the plain.
I think we've just witnessed something that will change everything.
Aye, the question is for better or for worse.
One thing's for certain, the Black Mage Arcalium is not who we thought they were, and I fear our part in this tale is only just beginning.
As the sun begins to set, painting the sky in hues of blood and fire, our heroes stand at the precipice of a mystery far greater than they could have imagined. The true nature of the Black Mage Arcalium, the identity of the young woman, and the purpose behind this day's violence, all questions that demand answers. But as shadows lengthen and night approaches, one thing becomes clear. The world has shifted, and nothing will ever be the same again. The air in the watchtower grows thick with tension as the group processes what they've just witnessed. Dust motes dance in the shafts of fading sunlight that pierce the narrow windows, casting long shadows across the weathered stone floor. Krothar, Littlehorn, Nali, and Jelani exchange uneasy glances, each lost in their own thoughts until Jelani clears his throat, breaking the silence. As the echoes of battle fade into the distance, our heroes find themselves grappling with new information that threatens to upend their mission before it's even begun. The calm they sought in Drakestide Cove seems to be slipping away with each passing moment. Jelani, his tail twitching nervously, looks to Krothar and Littlehorn.
There's something you both need to know. We just received a white raven. It says that the other group from the company was delayed. They were originally meant to arrive before us.
They've been delayed in Rittenheim. Seems they ran into a spot of trouble with some lizardfolk raiders. Nasty business from what we hear.
Lizardfolk, that's unexpected. How bad was it?
Bad enough. A large band, they said. But that's not all.
She pauses, exchanging a meaningful look with Jelani.
They also reported a sighting. A large black dragon at the beginning of their journey.
The words hang in the air, heavy with implication. Littlehorn's eyes widen, her mind clearly racing.
A black dragon, and now this business with the Black Mage Arcalium. I don't believe in coincidences, my friends.
The question is, what do we do now? Should we leave to join them or stay put?
We stay. Our orders were clear. This is where the company wants us. We can't abandon our post based on speculation and half-formed fears.
Littlehorn's right. Besides, the other group isn't exactly defenseless. Word is they've got a dragon and rider of their own in their crew.
If a group with that kind of firepower gets overwhelmed, what chance would the four of us have? We'd be throwing our lives away for nothing.
You make a fair point. I'll defer to the majority. We stay.
Good. Then I suggest we get back to why we're really here. We've barely set foot in this watchtower, let alone begun our investigation of the headquarters.
As our heroes steel themselves for the task ahead in Drakestide Cove, the day's events have left them shaken, but resolute. Little do they know that the true tests of their courage and loyalty are yet to come. The group exchanges one last look, a mix of determination and apprehension in their eyes, before moving to descend the watchtower stairs and begin their investigation in earnest. The musty air of the long-abandoned tower hangs heavy with anticipation. Dust motes dance in shafts of light piercing through grimy windows, illuminating cobwebs and forgotten relics of a once bustling command center. Fate, it seems, has a sense of irony. No sooner have our heroes settled on staying put than a knock at the door shatters their tentative peace, thrusting them once more into uncertainty. The sharp rap of knuckles on aged wood echoes through the tower. Nali, Jelani, Little Horn and Krothar exchange quick glances before springing into action. With practiced efficiency, they slide into defensive positions, melding into shadows and taking cover behind crumbling stonework. Another knock, more insistent this time, reverberates through the silence.
Enter and make no sudden movements. We're not in the mood for surprises.
The ancient door creaks open, revealing a figure that causes our heroes to tense further. Wyrmraex, the imposing red half-dragon and one of the company's most enigmatic bosses, steps through the threshold, his scaled hands raised in a gesture of peace.
Easy now, it's just us. The rest of your group is right behind me.
True to his word, a procession of formidable individuals files in behind him. First comes Kithri, a female Githyanki whose very presence seems to bend the air around her. She's followed by two Shadar-Kai elves, mirror images of shadow and grace. Lastly, Malveth Vral enters, another Shadar-Kai whose reputation precedes him like a palpable aura. And so our tale pauses here, dear listeners, balanced on the knife's edge of destiny. As shadows lengthen within the ancient tower of Drakestide Cove, two groups converge, each bearing their own dark tidings. The mystery of the Black Mage deepens even as new players take the stage, and questions multiply like ripples in still water. What secrets does Wyrmraex bring with his unexpected arrival? What connection lies between the lizardfolk raids and the dragon's ominous presence? And perhaps most crucially, what greater game is being played in the shadows of this seemingly abandoned stronghold? Join us next time as we delve deeper into the mysteries of Drakestide Cove, where nothing is quite what it seems, and everyone harbours secrets darker than the spaces between stars. Brave adventurers, your journey through the realms of Etheria has only just begun. The echoes of battle may fade, but the call to adventure rings eternal. Will you answer that call? Will you delve deeper into the mysteries that await, unravel the secrets of the Drakestide Coast, and face the darkness that threatens to consume all? The choice is yours, hero. Don't miss a single moment of this epic saga. Like this video to fuel the fires of adventure, and subscribe to our channel to ensure your place among the legends of Etheria. Hit that notification bell, and you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop. Until next time, may your critical hits be many and your fumbles few.